ישראל, אנחנו במלחמה, לא במבצע, לא בסבבים, במלחמה.
Bloody hands of the terrorist organization Hamas, a group whose stated purpose for being is to kill Jews. This was an act of sheer evil.
Welcome back, guys. As you can tell from the opening, and pretty sure you know what's going on in the world, this is not going to be a traditional episode. It's going to be more of a serious touch about Israel and their fight for freedom right now. This is episode 4. I'm not even going to go through all the other stuff. Let's just jump right into it, Joel.
Yeah. I've been really somber over this whole thing. Since it happened, it made me think about life and helped me slow down and kind of appreciate everything.
Yeah. And as a former veteran, that fought in Afghanistan, I can imagine that kind of brings back some of that memories for you.
Yeah. I mean, the whole talk about 9/11, and this is the worst thing, in the Jewish since 9/11.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's a horrible time. It's evil world we live in, and obviously Hamas. The pure evil and devastation. Both. We watched everything, and just for anyone that's watching this and they're 5 seconds in, we're not going to show any photos or videos of.
You've already seen it.
Yeah, if you've seen it, it's there. We'll post just more casual like. So I don't want anyone to worry about that. We are going to get into a little bit of kind of what's going on and what we've heard, and obviously,
What we think.
That's going on about it. Let's start with it from the beginning. Obviously Hamas being a terrorist group, radical Muslim terrorist group that operates out of the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
They've been attacking Israel for decades. It's not anything new for the two countries, Pakistan and the Gaza Strip, and then Israel, and fighting over it in the early 2000s. I believe it was 2005 or 2003 when
2005 was when Israel gave up. Yeah,
gave
in
up the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
And basically Hamas just took over, and Pakistan has
what I've heard is as soon as they gave it up, the rockets started firing at Israel. Thanks for the land.
Yeah. Thanks for stop fighting for it. We'll give it to you. I mean, and they've had the Iron Dome. They've hired the Iron Dome for years. The Iron Dome has never let them down. And actually, which I think is a miss number. A lot of people think the Iron Dome failed, which that's not what happened. The Iron Dome didn't fail, but more or less they used the Iron Dome as a distraction to do what they actually did. I was talking to someone earlier, and they're like, "Yeah, we heard the Iron Dome failed." I was like, "No, the whole thing was," and this is from Ben Shapiro. This isn't.
Well, what they're probably saying was because there was 5,000 rockets, it couldn't handle the amount that was coming through.
Yeah.
That's what they were probably referring to.
Oh,
They
okay,
were saying
gotcha.
that it failed because rockets did come through because there were so many.
Because it couldn't. Yeah, because it couldn't hold it.
They couldn't intercept.
Yeah,
all the rockets.
but not to the level of the devastation wasn't because of the Iron Dome. I mean, that that's an ingenious work of art, and I think we could do an entire podcast on the technology that they discovered to design all that. But obviously, if you haven't looked into it, or maybe you just didn't want to, you want a cleaner. I mean, Ben Shapiro has a great go. If you want to know, go to his. Who's the other guy you like?
Well, Dan Bongino.
Dan Bongino, another. These guys.
He went off on it, and it's. I think it's heartbreaking to everybody. I don't know if Dan Bongino has any Jewish ties, but he's been there. But Ben Shapiro.
I don't think you need to have Jewish ties for this.
Yeah.
This is a humanity type thing. If you are a human being and you can watch the pure evil of killing of children, women, it's unhuman.
Yeah.
So take out the religious aspect. I'm just saying there are other podcasters that have gone way deeper than what we're about to. We're just gonna I feel like skim the surface.
We're the average Joes.
Yeah, we're relaxing under the sun. This isn't relaxing at all.
Yeah.
But we would be dismissed to just pretend it didn't exist.
Yeah.
We're not going to be those people that are just like, oh, that never happened. Let's just make jokes all the time.
Yeah.
But so obviously, they overloaded the Iron Dome. They simultaneously hacked the wall. Joel, can you give information about the wall, because you're really good about that?
Yeah, apparently they took down the countermeasures. That's what makes this so sophisticated. These Hamas people were given, a lot of intelligence, a lot of ways to go against the wall, which was a very secure wall with touch, and there was no alerts.
Yeah.
Nobody knew about any of this for hours. Because, there's no military presence, or I don't understand why there wasn't any military presence near the wall.
Well, it's because it was a national holiday.
This was Gaza Strip.
Yeah, but it was their national holiday.
Yeah, that's why they chose this date.
Yeah, it'd be like attacking us on 4th of July or Christmas. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I might be speaking out of turn, so forgive me. But am I incorrect to think that on those holidays the military presence wasn't as
Everybody's
great
on holiday
for y'all? When y'all were
Everybody's
over there?
on holiday.
Yeah, so
we have 96s. Everybody flies to different locations
Yeah.
to meet with their friends and family.
Yeah, so
That's what I did all the time.
Yeah, so they found Israel has never, Israel doesn't attack on Ramadan because they have a, in that culture, I'm not trying to attack Muslim culture, and I don't want to get attacked on this, but I know that, at least Hamas will not attack on their specialized month, but they'll sure as hell do the attacks on their holidays because they don't respect anything.
Yeah.
And you can say, oh, Israel, I've seen the Black Lives Matter, we stand with Pakistan. You're not standing with a country.
Yeah.
You're talking about a terrorist organization that killed, murdered, raped innocent people in the streets. They weren't soldiers. They weren't anybody but you. Imagine you are sitting at home right now watching this podcast, or maybe you're at work, maybe you're in your car, and someone drives by and just blows you away, kicks your door open, and rapes and kills you, all because you're an American. Essentially.
They take the babies.
Yeah,
and,
they take your
hold
kids.
your hostage.
Yeah.
And now you have to watch that feed going through your phone.
I saw they went on someone's Facebook and posted a video of them killing the person. They went on their personal Facebook. I mean, dude, the evil 9/11, and I say this as an American that watched that has that day ingrained in my mind. 9/11 seemed like a cakewalk compared to what I watched.
Yeah.
And I remember the people. I could close my eyes right now and I can picture the people jumping out of the buildings on 9/11. I remember watching the towers fall. I remember all of that. That was not even remotely. I've seen a lot, Joel. I mean, obviously I haven't seen people decapitated in my line of work, but I have, but not in an intentional stance.
Yeah.
And you asked me earlier off camera, and you said, how did it affect you? And I am so desensitized to it, so I could watch it and it just kind of just rolls over my head. But I will tell you, a rage burns inside me.
Yeah.
I wish I could just go over there, pick up a gun and just go.
Yeah.
And just basically get out of my way. Like I can't believe, honestly, I can't believe Biden even,
Well, he's actually been very supportive of this. I've been kind of surprised.
I'm surprised. I know. I mean, I feel like if we had other presidents, we would have already declared war.
He said today that Israel has complete support from the U.S.
Well, we need to. What we need to be doing, though, is we need to be doing our own airstrikes. I think the last count was 200 to 300 airstrikes. I think we should be. We have one of the greatest militaries in the world.
Yeah,
we could park right on the side of the Gaza Strip. Yeah, is it potentially sending our boys into war again? Absolutely. But if there was ever a war to fight, this is the war. Because you know what, Biden? You helped cause this. You left all those weapons in Afghanistan. Yeah. You left all that equipment. Where do you think they got it? How do you think they have our M16s, our Humvees. Where do you think that comes from? That stuff, yes, you can buy it on the black market. Yes, it can be sold through other organizations. Yeah, Russia, China, all the other countries could have backfed them. Hell, we could have sold them the weapons from decades ago.
Yeah.
But I can tell you for a fact, we left billions of dollars of weapons and technology sitting where ISIS could take it. Let me guess where all that went. Guys, I mean, I'm just saying. And how about the billions of dollars that we give to women's aid in the women's aid last year? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you're telling me that you're going to go out to these countries, and it's not just Pakistan, it's not just Iran. We could talk about some of the African nations where the children are used as sex slaves and in the mines, and basically women are just any country where women's rights aren't rights, right? Where if you're a woman and you show your face, you get stoned.
What about here?
Yeah, and we get we are so privileged that we're sitting here.
I think what you're trying to say is take yourself out of the United States for a second.
Yeah, everyone out there.
There's a different society and culture. There's a different life. And I've been to another country, multiple countries, but I've been to other countries, and they just have a completely different lifestyle. They have a different way of thinking. And we're so used to just walking around where we live and that we don't even think about, all these other countries, and they don't understand why they think the way they do. And,
Well, and they think you think you can just buy off their culture. Like, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Can Russia come in? Because I know a lot, Russia does not support gay people at all, right? Let's just stop right there.
Yeah.
You telling me Putin could call up the United States and be like, we're going to give you $4.2 billion, hate gays. Do you think our country would bow for a second? No, we'd be like, this is America. We are the land of the free. Yeah. Well, essentially reverse that. And that's what America has done to Pakistan and all these countries. Hey, we're just going to give you money. Now support women. Now, these countries obviously have no morals, no morality. So they're like, yeah, sure, we'll take your money gladly.
And then they
just do what they want with it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this direct aid for women's international rights went to Hamas. I'm just saying you don't know where that money went. And I think you said that you saw a reporter said, "Oh, we know for a fact." How do you know?
Yeah.
You know for a fact. You're telling me you trust a nation that doesn't even tell us about their nuclear arms programs?
Yeah.
Like you just know, right? Yeah. Everyone just knows. And all these people are like, well, now a bunch of innocent Pakistani people are going to die. Oh, absolutely they are. And that's sad. Yeah. I for every innocent life that is gonna die. Yes, on both sides, that is gonna die in the near future. May God have mercy on all their souls, because it is. But you know what? War is exactly that. Yeah. And this isn't a territorial war where it's Ukraine versus Russia. Invasion of land, NATO. This is a cultural war. Okay, this goes back. This hatred of each other goes back millennia. You're not going to change it. You're not going to fix it. There ain't nothing we can do. All we can do as an American right now is you can pick a side.
Yeah.
Okay. And what side are you going to pick? Are you going to pick the side of the people that went into people's, not in country, into people's homes, ripped them out of their houses, raped, murdered, destroyed, kidnapped them in the streets? Or are you going to support the nation that when they got punched in the back of the face, they went and annihilated it? Because that's what we did. Okay. 9/11 happened. What did we do? We sent our boys in and we punched right back, because that's what you have to do. It's like a bully in school. Everyone knows this whole, you can't let a bully punch you in the face and take it.
Yeah.
You got to beat the bully up.
Yeah.
Well, this is worse than the bully.
There's so many calls for a cease and desist.
Yeah. You need to annihilate.
Yeah. They want, there's been a lot of people saying we need to stop it right now, end violence on both sides, when Israel just got ambushed.
Yeah.
But Israel's not allowed to go back and retaliate.
I would love it if we lived in a world where it wasn't an eye for an eye, but that's not the world we live in. Yeah. And here's the thing. If Hamas is not going to stop, they will not stop until the annihilation of every Jewish individual is gone.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, Israel's only hope at this point
Yeah.
is to annihilate them.
Yeah.
You know, there is no peace talks. There's nothing. There's no, like I said, it's a cultural war.
You got to think, you know, most people, Americans, you know, whether you live in London or different areas of the world, you know, that want to just live life like me and you. We work and we go home, see our kids, or, you know, hang out with our family or whatever. These guys were bred just to kill. That's their only mission in life. And why I don't understand why we're celebrating the killing of the entire population.
Why are we supporting this like people cheering all over the world for Hamas killing, you know, and I know the argument that people are going to say is, well, the Israelites have done airstrikes in the Gaza Strip and it's killed innocents. Yeah. Well, I hate to break it to every American out there. How many airstrikes have we did in Iraq, Afghanistan, North Korea, South Korea, Vietnam, Germany?
Yeah.
I mean, in Japan, we annihilated 2 cities. Okay. To end that war, to bring people like my grandfather who fought in Japan, to bring him home, we annihilated millions of innocents. We dropped the nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
We would forget that. Why, you know, Joel, tell the crowd that doesn't know why did we drop those nuclear bombs in Japan?
Well, there was Germany was coming to an end.
The big incident. Why we're there. Why we were in the war.
World War II?
Yep.
Well, Nazism, and then the Japan Imperial Army
Try one more
wanted
time.
to
What happened? What was the one big event?
Pearl Harbor.
There you go. Guys,
Okay.
took him a while.
I was trying to.
You were getting historical. I'm saying, but
I know about all these answers.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
No, you were- and they were all
Let me
right.
tell you about it.
they were all right. But what I'm saying is Pearl Harbor, right?
Yeah.
Complete and other. Before 9/11, it was Pearl Harbor. That's what we
I
talked
thought
about.
it was January 6th.
No, Joel. We're not playing the joke game today. Remember?
Yeah.
He's guys, forgive him. But Pearl Harbor, 9/11, and I don't know what day it actually happened.
December 7th.
December 7th. No, not Pearl Harbor. This Hamas attack. What
October 7th.
October 7th. Those are going to be the 3 days that we're going to remember for infamy now.
Yeah.
You know, and what I was trying to get at is Pearl Harbor happened.
Yeah.
We went to war, and obviously I know we didn't just drop nuclear bombs because of Pearl Harbor, but we did do what we had to in the end, and that's what Israel's going to have to do. And I would tell people, you do need to be worried.
Yeah.
We could be sitting on the brink of a. And this is where let's divide on how hard this could go, right?
Yeah, it just depends on the escalation. If things are, you know, settled pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But it never ends quickly like this.
There's so many questions. I have so many questions. Like, and I'm not saying any allegations, but I'm just wondering, you know, the best hackers in the world are in China.
Yeah.
And it is no secret that China supports communism. You know, Israel is not a communist country. It's a capitalist country. You know, China supports Pakistan. They support Iran. They've done it secretly for years. They funneled money and weapons to them. I wouldn't put it past them to help them hack the system. You know, or maybe hackers for hire. And maybe China wasn't involved at all. And if China wasn't involved, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying this.
Well, I think what Sam is trying to say is we don't know. We're just trying to figure things out just like everybody else.
Yeah, what I'm trying to get at is, and what I'm saying about by China, and I'm not trying to throw them saying that they support Hamas in any way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this is how scary this bubble can get, right?
Yeah.
If China is involved, Russia's involved, we're involved, you could be looking at a world war for the first time. You've been saying it for a while. I've been telling you, no. This is the first time we really could be looking at like a World War III.
Well, Israel's going with obviously what we've been talking about, and then you got Russia and Ukraine, and then China is probably, I was telling him,
look at Taiwan.
Yeah, like they could see, shiny new object over in Israel. Why don't we go over to Taiwan and do our thing? Because if we're focused on our ally, which is Israel, and we're looking right over there, it would be stretching thin to go to the other side.
Oh
of the
yeah,
world
it's not.
and try to defend Taiwan as well.
And watch Putin in the coming days, guys. Okay, he might make his move here. You know, I don't know if
Scorched earth.
I don't know if anything's come out of the Kremlin about it, or you know, his thoughts on the.
You know, it has been kind of interesting that nobody's been saying much about it from other countries. I mean,
yeah, everyone's kind of been quiet, basically.
I think people are just trying to, you know, kind of soak it in.
It's going to be one of these things. This is not going to be. This isn't a war. I mean, Israel. When I read it, you know, the prime minister basically took off all restrictions in the Israel military. You know, I told, and I ask you, you know, anyone out there, you know, we haven't had anyone comment yet. I really wish. I wish this is the episode to comment, guys, because I really want to know your opinions on it.
Yeah, we want likes, comments.
I won't
all that fun stuff to be able to, you know, see what everybody's
and if
thinking.
you want to defend Pakistan, and I can't imagine you defending Hamas. I would assume you'd be defending the innocents in Pakistan and that's going to probably die during this. You know, I would like to know your opinion. I obviously I'm very one-sided on this. You know, I do have, you know, blood in the game per se. It's as far as I want to go into that, but you know, it definitely it's a thing. You know, it's a serious thing. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna be an annihilation. They're going to Israel. It's come to a point, right? Either Israel is going to wipe out Hamas off the face of the planet, or Hamas is going to wipe Israel off the face of the planet. We've come to a point where one is going to end up with the Gaza Strip now. I mean, I just don't foresee it going. I don't think Israel wants the Gaza Strip, but I think it would be smart for them to take it.
My question is, if hypothetically, let's just say Israel were to sweep Hamas off the face of the earth, and
To the extent that they could, obviously.
yeah, and they take the Gaza Strip, where do they keep the Palestinians? I mean, there's like 2 million people in that country, or the Gaza Strip area.
They'd have to kick them out.
I mean, where do they go? Nobody wants them. Egypt says no.
Yeah,
they've already closed the borders to, you know.
Yeah,
because Israel is trying to warn.
They probably have to go back to Iran. I mean, they have to go to Iran. I know Palestinian and Iranians aren't the same, but
Yeah, I'm just saying, like 48 to 67, they could have had their own state with all these other with the history, but nobody gave them a country.
yeah, they're people
Israel
without a country.
Finally gave them a little bit of strip of land so they could live somewhere.
Well, and like I said, because it's a cultural war, it's not something that can, you know, and the Israelites and the Palestinians cannot live in peace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the presumption of it. I mean, if you really want to dive into a biblical sense of it, if there was peace, that would be the end of war. The Egypt, who has been in trade negotiations with Israel as recently, you know, they're all wanting to kind of just basically put their hands up, back up, and be like, we're going to let y'all do what you need to do, you know.
Yeah.
But I say, and I wonder how long before the UN steps in and says, like I said, Israel took off all, you know,
rules of
engagement.
Did you hear about the UN?
No, have they made a call? I told you they
what
would.
they did was they had one of the humanitarian people, you know, the council people.
Yeah.
And they had a moment of silence for the Palestinians.
Oh, of course they did. I give it 2 weeks before we're on this podcast talking about how the UN's putting sanctions against, or attempting to put sanctions against Israel for acts of against the Geneva Convention. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, that's pretty dark, you know, pretty deep. I don't know what more has come out of it, you know. Here, I'll check right now, because I mean, this is such an ever updating story. Who knows what's changed in the last 20 minutes we've been talking, you know.
Yeah, the information has been coming in, and you got to think that it's probably about a 12-hour time difference somewhere in that time frame. So it's about 7 in the morning. For them.
150 hostages being held still, 1,500 bodies.
Yeah,
What would Israel ground assault and
the one question that I ponder about is where does this go? I think we touched on this earlier, but I'm kind of frustrated that this could be impacted. Like, let's just say the border's open, which it is, in America. How many are already plotting something right now in our own country?
Yeah, I mean, guys, let's be serious. Yeah, it's something we need to really look at.
They arrested 160 just in this year.
Who knows? I hate to say I don't want to say we're due for an attack, but we have gotten fat and happy again.
Complacent.
Yeah, as a country, we need to. We really need it. We need to, guys, keep your eyes open. And it's not Middle Eastern people. I mean, that during the Afghani war, if you prove it, they've converted, white Americans, black Americans, Asian Americans. It could be anyone. I would say, I hate to say this, but I don't hate to say this. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't. People out there, stop putting your heads in the sand like an ostrich.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes open. Keep your people safe. We need to keep us Americans safe. If you're in our country and you mean to do us harm, you're in our country to hurt any of us in any state, we as Americans, if you are a Middle Eastern American, if you are just a full blood, your heritage is so white, it's white rice type white. It doesn't matter. We are Americans, and we need to grab that old identity we had during 9/11. We need to grab the identity that the Israelites have, which I know theirs is deeper because theirs is more of a cultural, but it doesn't mean we can't have that same kind of pride of this is our country and you're not going to come in here. Like, we would love, we are the melting pot, right? We embrace immigrants.
Yeah.
But that's in the understanding that you embrace our way.
You know what the problem is?
Go ahead.
The media. The media has infused so many confusion and so much twisting of the narratives to where people are so confused right now. That's why America is where it is.
Oh yeah, and I mean, now I don't like CNN, but I like having their app. Now finally, if you pull up their app, every story is about Israel. But remember this morning I was talking about like birds hitting a building in Chicago and talking about what we should do for green. It's like, why is not every single story about Israel?
Yeah.
I don't care about some stupid ass birds hitting a fucking building in Chicago.
Well, did you know Aaron Rodgers and that Travis Kelce guy, Mr. Pfizer, are fighting? And then Taylor Swift is with that crazy.
Oh.
That's what I'm trying to say. There's so many distractions.
Yeah, people are like, "Hey, look, Taylor Swift. She's making NFL great again." Like, guys, come on, just stop. Like, you know what? Like, the moment you think, I don't know why Israel is out there, attacking Hamas. It was, I don't understand why they're not being more efficient with the attacks. I want you to watch the video of the guy getting his head cut off with a hoe.
Well, that's what
with a garden hoe. I watched the video. If anyone out there is watching this right now and they're like, "Whoa, I don't think it's that bad," watch that video. It's on YouTube. Watch a man getting his head cut off with a garden hoe, and then you tell me that we should stand with Palestine.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about when I saw all these not protests, but celebrations of Hamas. I was just like, do they not know? I'm a very empathetic person.
Yeah.
And for me to imagine that someone would come in and have no mercy, they have their eyes just fixed on blood and lust of shooting and killing and murdering and torturing and raping and doing all that stuff. I can't even imagine that. And these guys celebrate that.
Well, and it's not even.
I can't even imagine.
It's not even, and they weren't even killing just Israelites. They killed Americans. They killed Germans. They killed British.
They didn't care.
They didn't care what you were. You just happened to be there.
Yeah.
There were people at a rave for peace in the Gaza Strip, and they killed them. It's just ridiculous. You want to say, Joel, and I understand. You're like, who could support Hamas and be people cheered for Hitler.
Yeah, well,
You know, people stood for Hitler. People watched it happen. People allowed it to go on. People cheered when America got hit, when the towers fell, when we lost hundreds, when we lost thousands. People cheered all around the world.
2,900 that day.
Yeah. You know, it's a sad time, guys. I really don't want to talk too much on it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'll probably just start getting enraged.
Yeah.
But we wanted to address it. This podcast is about addressing everything.
Yeah.
This is going to be like, normally this would be like a part 4.1, but this isn't just be, I would like Joel to just be this is a special Israel episode.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have any kind of funding. We don't have any kind of charity program set up, but I'm pretty sure there's plenty of them out there, guys.
Yeah.
I suggest that you do your research. Make sure you find the right charity that you want to donate to.
Yeah.
And I do suggest you donate.
And I think the most powerful thing you can do is just pray for all the people that have lost their
Pray,
children, lost
donate.
their brothers, lost their sisters, lost
Yeah.
their uncles, their brother, everybody.
Yeah.
Just like, it's a sad time for everybody.
And it's okay to feel bad for the the innocent.
Yeah.
The innocent
Well,
and,
what
and I want to make sure people understand that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Palestine, the country is, or the people is like burn them all.
Yeah, well-
I'm talking about the Hamas terrorists.
Well, what Hamas does in Palestine, that Gaza Strip, is they just bull them around, and they're the big kid on the block,
Yeah.
so they're going to tell them how to live their life.
Yeah.
They're pissed about this because they didn't want any of this.
Yeah.
Now they're going to get killed.
yeah,
for
now
this.
they're going to get killed by bystanders.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's sometimes innocent dies in war. Japan, it can be
Yeah.
rebuilt.
Yeah.
We can come back from this as a world, not as a country, as a world. We'll never squash out evil, but we can definitely do some damage. But like I said, guys, this is a special episode. Next episode's gonna be the goofy, fun, 1-star reviews. We're gonna get really lighthearted. I'm gonna need a lighthearted episode. So
we need
Again,
to balance it out.
we appreciate all you guys. If y'all are watching, looks like our viewership's kind of going up.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Smash that like button, comment, do anything.
We just like conversation. If you guys disagree, then let us read your comment and
Yeah.
what's on your mind, so we can talk about it.
Because I've read so many 1-star reviews, so I know people like to comment. Y'all can comment. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
But to Israel, to everyone out there,
Yeah.
to the soldiers that'll be fighting for the next few months, possible years, we're here for you for what it's worth. Good night.
And farewell.
Farewell.